Every public figure at some point has to simplify their entire brand and public perception to a few personality traits. Ellen DeGeneres, for most of her career, could be described as friendly, funny, and altruistic. She infamously branded two very simple words as her mantra to live by: be kind.
When I say be kind to one another, I mean be kind to everyone. Just be kind. But the act of being kind also has great benefits. Try to do something kind this week.
But we learned that Ellen made some exceptions to her always be kind rule. Be kind, unless it's her employees who accuse Ellen show producers of mentally abusing and sexually assaulting them. Be kind, unless there's a funny opportunity to humiliate a fan on live television. Be kind, unless she can force a pregnant woman to drink alcohol on television. Be kind, well, because she has to when big brands are donating millions of dollars to her charitable causes. For 40 years, Ellen had the world convinced she was this lovable, genuine figure. She even won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But as time went on, the cracks in the facade began to slowly emerge, and the world finally saw her reality behind the mask. The empire she built in 4 decades came crashing down in less than a year, and to this day, she believes that she is the victim.
Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business.
Today we are going to deep dive into the disastrous downfall of Ellen DeGeneres and analyze the warning signs we missed along the way. Ellen had no idea what she wanted to do with her life at the age of 23. She worked various odd jobs out of necessity. She painted houses, worked in factories, worked as a bartender, and even sold vacuum cleaners, but could not find any purpose for her life. That is, until she discovered stand-up comedy.
Have you always wanted to do comedy?
No, I really didn't. Until I got on stage, until I was talked into it, because I didn't want to, do it, until some friends said, we're having a benefit, we need to raise some money, and I don't even know what the benefit was for. It was like, I think somebody needed a new pair of jeans or something at the time. And I went on stage, and I don't even know what I did, but it was funny at the time. I loved it. It was just the greatest feeling, and it just fell in my lap. Everything just kept happening, and so.
Most people who pursue an art form typically have a deep passion for it. Some comedians even see it as survival. They struggle to cope with the stresses and complexities of real life, and comedy is a necessary escape. Ellen lacked passion and was decently funny. This seemed like a pretty good job that was working, so why not keep pursuing it? Ironically, this type of mentality is perfect for someone to move up in the ranks in any industry. When you are not deeply or personally attached to your work or art, you are willing to make the necessary sacrifices for growth. In the perspective of a comedian, some may deny a movie or TV role because it's too corny, too unfunny, or just generally a bad look regardless of the opportunities it will bring and the revenue they will generate from it. Ellen was not that type of person. If there was an opportunity, she was going to take it. In the 1980s, she started performing stand-up comedy in New Orleans and gained a huge boost in popularity when she won Showtime's Funniest Person in America contest in 1982. This national visibility led to her doing stand-up shows around the country. In the 80s, doing a set on Late Night with Johnny Carson or David Letterman was a rite of passage for comedians. It was seen as a major milestone that often led to a professional career in comedy. In 1986, Ellen got her opportunity.
That whole fitness thing runs in my family, though, I think. That my grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 today, and we don't know where the hell she is. I'm kidding. We know where she is. She's in prison. I'm kidding again. I kid a lot because I'm a comedian.
Ellen's style of comedy seemed like someone who was truly indifferent, like she didn't care to be on the stage. This could be perceived as confidence. Someone who is unafraid to fail or tell a bad joke. Combine that with the fact that she was a woman in the 80s, a time where women weren't exactly dominating the comedy industry, and opportunities came pouring in. Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and it's very important to be talking about them because hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from National Public Data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, address, date of birth, phone number, and most importantly, social security number. And members of the hacker group have reportedly released this information for free online. It's really frustrating knowing my personal data could be out there for anyone to find. If you weren't taking precautions with your personal information online before, this should be a huge wake-up call. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not too worried about it because I use Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. You can go to my link, aura.com/PatrickCC, to try 14 days for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/PatrickCC to try 2 weeks for free. She played the role of Margot on the 1980 sitcom Open House, and then jumped from there to another ABC sitcom called Lauryn Hill, which only lasted 1 season. Her newfound fame earned her an HBO special in 1992 called One Night Stand.
I was in the back and I went to the kitchen to get some lemonade, and in the kitchen was my dad, my mom, all my brothers and sisters just standing there staring at me, about to start laughing. I was like, what? I was 7, I didn't know. And my dad said, Ellen, honey, you were adopted and we've never liked you, so we've sold you to a tribe of Iroquois Indians. They'll be here to pick you up in about an hour. We're going to go to a movie. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Ellen has this unique, quirky charm that's irresistibly captivating. She doesn't rely on shock humor or hot-button topics. She comfortably and confidently delivers her wacky and obscure thoughts, which earned her respect from fans and other legendary comedians. However, in the 90s, there wasn't much money or longevity in doing stand-up as a full-time job. Most comedians were pursuing jobs on Saturday Night Live or writing for movies. Most successful comedians in the 90s got their notoriety through being the face of a television sitcom. And in 1994, Ellen got her big break when she starred in her own ABC sitcom, Ellen. This show was about a neurotic bookstore owner in her 30s dealing with her quirky friends, family, and the problems of daily life in Los Angeles. Despite her show being a big hit, it was canceled abruptly when she came out as gay. Ellen was planning a historical moment with the Puppy episode, which was a code name to keep its intentions a secret. In the summer of '96, DeGeneres opened negotiations with ABC and Disney to have Ellen Morgan, her character, to come out as lesbian during season 4. Word of the secret negotiations leaked, sparking a media frenzy of speculation as to whether or not Ellen was gay and how that would impact her career. Gay activist groups like GLAAD started campaigning in support of her historic moment. The buzz and build-up to this episode permeated throughout the industry. Everyone knew it would be a historic moment. Famous actors were lining up to be in the episode to show support, and the 2-part series saw multiple cameos from very famous celebrities. But the most important cameo was none other than Oprah, who Ellen herself said would give the announcement its legitimacy and would not be treated as a joke. Still, a bomb threat was phoned into the studio during production, and director Gil Junger recalled getting a phone call from someone who told him he was going to hell. 16 days prior to the episode airing, she made the cover of Time magazine, also announcing her coming out. 1 week before the episode, she did an interview with Diane Sawyer where she discussed her sexuality.
I know what it feels like to try to blend in so that everybody else will think you're okay and they won't hurt you. I decided that this was not going to be something that I was going to live the rest of my life being ashamed of.
When the Puppy episode aired on April 30th, 1997, Ellen made history, becoming the first lead character on American television to come out of the closet.
I mean, what is wrong? Why do I have to be so ashamed? I mean, why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
This episode was the highest rated episode of any show on the network in 1997, drawing an astounding 42 million viewers. The very same day when that episode aired, she did a sit-down interview with Oprah where they discussed in detail the process of her coming out. Despite the historic moment, the show's advertisers were dropping like flies. Chrysler, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, JCPenney, Domino's, Ford, and General Motors all decided to stop advertising on The Ellen Show because of this episode. And after the Puppy episode, Ellen's ratings began to dwindle, and 1 year later, ABC canceled the show. Entertainment Weekly put her on their cover in a similar pose to the iconic Times cover, but this time the caption was, "Yep, she's too gay." Ellen began making public appearances alongside her girlfriend and actress Anne Heche. She was officially free. The couple were seen as trailblazers for LGBTQ rights, which was noble, but it wasn't exactly helping Ellen's career. Ellen's career was on a downward trajectory after coming out. She had ancillary roles in various unpopular films and TV movies. It's unclear if she was being blacklisted by the industry, or if the movies she was cast in were just bad, or if she was just a bad actor. Could have been a little mix of all three. But the only person whose career died harder than Ellen's was her girlfriend's. In the late 90s, Anne Heche was starring in hit after hit every year. Donnie Brasco, Volcano, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Wag the Dog, 6 Days, 7 Nights, among other 90s cult classics. But as Anne began dating Ellen, she seemingly disappeared overnight. Many years later, Heche described her relationship with Ellen, claiming that Ellen wanted her domesticated, isolated, and alone.
What happened was that I was, through the circumstances, shut out from things that I cared about, and in order to make her feel that she was being loved, I would erase those things from my path, such as acting, and replace them with things that I thought would give her a foundation. As we got further and further away from me being able to be in public the way that would please, I began getting further and further away from my friends and my friendships. And one of the things that concerned me very much was that I was beginning to feel shut off and shut down and shut away. And I told Ellen that I needed to have friends. She said she did not want to have a girlfriend that needed that. And that is the day I left.
Shortly after Anne and Ellen broke up, Heche was hospitalized after knocking on the front door of a rural California home, making strange statements to its residents. She appeared shaken and confused. Within a year of breaking up with